On the dash, I'm cynical, purple tinted Lambo, indigo, two girls from my show, identical. Out of this world, like they went to a festival. They going crazy, yeah, they hanging out the car, yeah. I took a ride, they out, they think they.
What's up, everybody? This is my first episode of my Saint-Etienne football manager playthrough. Basically, the whole point of it is like just taking them back to the heights that they were in like the 80s. They haven't won a title since then, and of course, you know, PSG is like the dominant force in the French league now. So if we can take them to the Champions League, that'd be great. But the main goal, like right now, is just to get them like back to the top of the French league and back like competing for the titles with PSG and I guess Monaco and Lyon, but basically with PSG is the whole point. So yeah, so I'll show you what we've done. We had about 5 million left. Oh, and Nicolo Armini maybe getting loaned in, but I'm not sure yet. Yeah, that's basically the gist of that. We a little bit overspent. I'll show you the transfer history. Most of this was done before I got here. Like all the sales were, I haven't sold anybody, and then most of these signings were the two players I signed were Milan Juric, right? And the other player I signed was Jonathan Cristaldo, and so it may seem as though, like, you know, a little odd that I signed like a 29-year-old and a 30-year-old, like, you know, as my first two signings. But basically the point was, I was thinking, you know, whenever I think of like French football, it's like, you know, kind of a finesse game, and I just thought that we could kind of almost counter that by playing like, you know, real like old-fashioned like English 80s football. You just like kick it up the pitch and just have a target man, like. And that's basically what my plan was here. So here's the tactic that we're going with. We're going to have a target man and a pressing forward, and then basically just play like a 4-2-2-2. And so, yeah. So this is the team that this is basically the first team, the team I'm showing you right now, and yeah. So Cristaldo, he is going to be a starter normally, but he's injured for this game, so he's not going to start. He's picked up a knock during the preseason. So we have another striker who was here before, I don't know how you say that, Lois Dioni, and he's going to play in his spot, and Juric is going to start next to him. And we have Kazri, who is he's like the highest valued player. He's like the star player of the team. He's going to play on the left, and then we have Hamuma on the right, who he's 32 years old, but he still has a decent amount of pace on him, play right wing, and I think we can get like a solid good year, or maybe two, but we probably want to look to move on from him even maybe in January, but we just have such a lack of money. And then we have Jan Villa, who, you know, is a very solid player for us, and then Johan Cabai, who is obviously definitely getting older, but he still has the technical ability to really be a strong part of this team for at least the next season. And then in the defense, we have Kolodziak. He's loaned in from Tigres, and we might look to sign him permanently, but like, you know, he's can play center back, but we don't really have a left back, so he's going to be playing left. I mean, he also can play left back pretty well, as you can see here with his familiarity. And then we have LaCroix and Perrin are going to start together in the center defense. We have LaCroix is a 27-year-old Swiss here. Like, those are his stats. He's a 3-star player. Perrin is he's definitely getting older, but he's still like, he's much slower, but he has like a lot of the, you know, technicals that I thought would be good for like ball playing defender. So I put a ball playing defender next to like just like a, you know, tough center defender. And then on the other side, we have Debussy, who's obviously getting older. So we have a lot of players that like have a decent amount of like, you know, reputation and recognition, but they're just, you know, at the other end of their career. Like Debussy, you know, Arsenal, Newcastle player, but the fact is he's 34 years old now, and it's probably his last season. But he's still a 3.5-star player for us. We definitely need to improve our team over time, but we just didn't really have the money. And I'm trying to get some loans in, so that might happen. But of course, we also are over the wage budget, so it's going to have to be loans that where there's no like the team doesn't make us pay for anything, which would be the case with Armenia if he comes in. So that would be definitely a good get for us. So we'll come back when the match. Okay, so here's the starting lineup for Reims. This is our first game of the season. I apologize if I said that incorrectly. I actually am not familiar with any of the players in their starting lineup, so I mean, I don't really know what to expect. But I guess we just go into the game and we see what happens. Hopefully, the tactic that we've created works, because I am definitely nervous about it. I've never really tried to play a system that's like kind of anti good football, but like. We'll definitely see what happens for sure. Let me switch this. This is the first match. Key highlights here. We'll play like that. And now they're on the counter attack here. Denis is running rampantly, and there's a man open in the middle, but he decides to go to Fouquet. And Denis now has space. That's a brilliant tackle. I don't know who that was. It looks like it was Perrin, but that's a great tackle. Even though he was offsides, I still love to see that. Oh, it looks like Hamuma is injured, and we're gonna have to make an early substitution here. Dennis Bouanga's gonna have to come on the right side. Doesn't look like we have any real like natural right-sided players as depth options, but we're gonna have to make do it, especially in this match. And Dione off the long throw and it gives us the 1-0 lead. It's the first goal of the season so far, and I mean it wasn't the most beautiful goal that's ever been scored, but it's exactly the kind of play that we're looking for. Just like scrappy plays, we get them when they're not completely focused, and we catch them off guard. And Dione gets our first goal of the season. Now we have another highlight here. Kasri's a good ball, and Juric, and that could have been his first goal for the club, just a little bit wide. Dione, just a little wide from Dione. I mean, I think we've been playing great so far. I don't really think that we need to change anything. I mean, we have all chances. We have majority of the possession. I mean, the one thing I would want to change is, that's not good. That supposedly our best player, Kasri, and he's also like he's not old. He's 28, and he's in his prime. He's our best player versus like someone like Debussy or Ruffier, who are going to decline. And so Boudabou is going to have to come in for him. Somebody I was thinking about selling to balance the books, but he actually wasn't able to, I wasn't able to sell him because I didn't realize that the majority of the players that I'm actually not planning on starting are people that are new signings that the board made before the previous manager made, or the board, whoever made it. I don't disagree that those were good signings, because they ended up spending about $60 million on players I'm not even really using at the moment. Obviously, there'll be good depth options, but it seems like there's a lot of holes in the team that we could have improved. I'm gonna say that I'm pleased with how things are going, because it is just our first game. We do have 3 6-4s, so that's obviously worrying, but we'll let it go a little bit longer, and maybe around the 60th or 55th we'll make a sub if he or Juric are still on that rating. Okay, it seems like. Okay, we have a highlight here, though. A throw-in, and is that a penalty? So it looks like we have both of our goals off of throw-ins. So, I mean, obviously not the, elegance that you would see from Barcelona, but that's not really what we're aspiring for. And Boudabou finishes the penalty, and it's 2-0, and it looks like our first game is going to end in a win as long as we don't choke. Who do we have in our... we have one substitution left because of injuries. I might just want to keep that substitution just in case, especially with, the fact that 2 of our players have already been injured. Like, I don't want to be left in a situation where I don't have any substitutions. Probably, especially because it's the first game of the season. They're just getting their match sharpness back, and so as Abdul Hamid goes very close there, they're just getting their match sharpness back, and so I don't want to be left in a situation where I have, I'm a man down and it lets them get back in the game. So I'm just not going to worry about making a substitution right now, and hopefully that's the right decision. We have a free kick here. Buda puts the ball in towards Church, and he can't win the header. And now it looks like they have a pretty strong counterattack. It looks like it's about 3-on-2, 3-on-3. Dia has space. He can take the shot. That's a great save from Raffier. We have 2 clear chances and 3 half-hit chances. So, I mean, we definitely do deserve to be in the lead in this game, just to their, 1 half chance. But, obviously that's not the way the game is scored, so we have to just make sure that we hold on. It looks like there'll be one more highlight here. Headed down to Boo-Boos. I guess he goes just by Cola, which is definitely very helpful because his last name is abysmal to pronounce. So I don't even know if he knows how to pronounce it. So I think we'll just go by Cola as well because it's just so much easier. All right, Buwanga. Buwanga could play in Dione. Dione has space to shoot. Could he make it 3? But that's a great save from Ratchevich. It looks like the match is going to end 2-0 for AS Saint-Etienne, and that's a great result to start the season. I mean, it puts us in 3rd place. With obviously the season's just starting, but PSG does already have a 5-goal differential, which is typical PSG result. But still, I mean, we have to do what we can do, and this isn't the season that we're going to be competing with PSG anyway. So we just have to, we have the Europa League this season. We have the league, and we just have to do the best that we can with the team that we have. And I feel like this season we're just going to really feel out where we are, especially in maybe the first half of this season. We're really going to feel out where we are as a team, and then it'll give us a good idea of how much we really do need to improve, or how close we are to our eventual goal. So our next game is against Marseille, and I'll see you when that game is begun. Actually, before that, I just wanted to let you know Kazri is out for 3-4 weeks, which is definitely going to be a big blow because, I mean, he's obviously our star player. If you want to look at the squad, if I go in order of ability, it's him, Mvia, Boudabous, Raffier, Cabaye, and Debussier are 3.5. But also he's worth the most. He's the youngest out of all these players. So, I mean that's a huge loss for us, but it could have been much worse. So at the same time, we just want to, we just want to, it could have been much worse. So I'm just glad that it wasn't. It's a twisted ankle. We're gonna have to play the next 3 to 6 weeks without him. So the good thing is that we have other options in that position. We can play a Boudabous there, someone like that. So it's not like a position where we don't have any depth. It would be really bad if we had a big injury in center back, which is why I want Armini to come in and as a lone option. And he honestly might start. We do have Saliba, but at this point he's not developed to the point where I want to start him in the league. And the unfortunate part about that, of course, is that he's not our player. So it kind of is an unfortunate thing where we have the burden of developing him, but he's not really where I want him to be at yet for our league campaign. So yeah, I'm gonna see you unless anything else comes up. I'll see you guys with the team. More bad news. We have a massive injury because Raffier is our star goalkeeper, and he's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks or with shin splints, which I don't really know how that happens for a goalie. But I don't know why he was chasing the ball during a training session. It seems a little preposterous. But anyway, he got his shin splints, and he's going to be out for. I'm going to send him to a specialist, so he's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, I guess if another injury pops up, I'll be back. We have 2 days until the Marseille. Okay, so here's the team for the Marseille match. This is obviously a massive match because Marseille is one of the bigger teams in the division. So we're going to go with Moulin to replace Raffier. He's an okay goal. He's 33 years old. He's 2.5 stars. He's obviously nothing special, but he's, there's nothing else that we can do. And also, if anything happens to him, we don't have another goalie, so he's kind of just, we're gonna have to put somebody from the bench in goal if something happens to him. So we're going with the same defense that works well in the last match, and then we're gonna go with the same midfield in V and Kabaye. We're gonna go with Bouanga to replace Kazri, who's hurt right now, and Hamuma's gonna keep his spot, and then Juric and Cristaldo are gonna start together. So Cristaldo's gonna make his debut today at the pressing forward spot, and we're gonna see how he does compared to Dione because it's really still up in the air between. Okay, so we get a highlight straight off the bat here, I think, or I can't remember if on key highlights it does this where it starts the game before you actually, like, whether the game starts before the first highlight actually starts, or so this could be a big highlight though, as we are. It looks like we're attacking, but now they're countering. But we get the ball back here with Debuchy. He could put a ball in. He looks for Kabaye, finds him way down the line with Debuchy in space. Oh, and that's a big header for Bouanga. He almost gets it. It just goes a little over. It's definitely a good sign though that we're pushing the envelope on Marseille. We don't want to really be like on the back foot because we should be like a really comparable side with them. I mean, they definitely have players like Payet who are much better than any of our players, but like we still need. If we're gonna compete this season because last season Saint-Etienne came in 4th. So if we're going to compete for like a similar position in this season, even though our expectations only top half, we're going to have to win games like this against these kind of teams. And I feel like in France, like compared to as Bouanga scored beautiful goal, that was just brilliant play from the whole team, and our stadium looks packed. It looks like everybody is optimistic about this season, and this is a beautiful ball from Kabaye. Just look. He takes another step in and just finds Bouanga. And normally those are the ones where the keeper makes a really big save, and because it's just the angle. Normally they don't score from there. But Bouanga, I guess, has never played Football Manager before. He just takes the shot, and it's a perfect shot for the situation, and we go up 1-0. So yeah, as I was saying, we're gonna have to win these games against like teams like Marseille and like Lyon might be a little bit of a tough one for us to win, but like we're gonna have to like do well in these sorts of games if we're gonna compete for like that 4th position, because and I feel like in France it's easier to do than most leagues, because I feel like even though there's the teams that are like competing for those spots may be more talented, like the gap in talent isn't necessarily going to be massive. Like, so I feel like it's besides like PSG, I think we could really beat anybody like on our day. So I think that we have to compete, and we just have to that's just really the way it is. And so now we're going into the second half. And Villa and Cristaldo, we definitely have to watch them, as neither one of them are having a great match. I might take Cristaldo out here like around the 65th, because he's still in a 6.4, but we have a highlight here. It's a corner in towards Perrin, and Perrin's fouled from behind. It looks like another penalty in back-to-back games. So I think that it says Yohan Kabaye is going to take the penalty, and this can give us a 2-goal lead. Boubacar Kamara giving up the penalty. If Kabaye converts here, I thought he converted because Mandanda went the wrong way, but Kabaye just missed it completely wide. And now we're gonna take out Cristaldo. It looks like Kabaye's confidence isn't shaking. He is a veteran, so we're not gonna worry about him, even though he missed the penalty. So we're gonna put Dione back up with Juric, the duo that played in the last match. And I think we're also gonna take Villa out. Just he's having a poor performance, and we're gonna put in a Hulu, who I actually don't know who this is. Okay, he's a 3-star player. He's on loan from Monaco. He has very good physical stats. His technicals aren't great, but they're not terrible either. They're average technicals. They're good enough. And as a serviceable backup player, he's going to play with Kabaye in the midfield for the rest of this match, and we're going to see how that goes. Here's the highlight here. LaCroix gives Colo the ball. It looks like we're just playing around the back. We do have the 2-goal advantage, and that's Juric wins the ball beautifully there and gets his first goal. I don't think I've ever really seen anything like that. In Football Manager, I don't play with target men that much, but look how he just flicks it over like purposely for his own touch. Like, I've never seen that animation before. I think that's really cool, because Juric is. That's what he's there for. He's there to hold up the ball, or in some cases, to take it on his own. And that's his first goal for Saint-Etienne. It's It's a big one. It puts us up 2-0 now because I said with the 2 goal advantage earlier, I actually forgot that, of course, Cabaye missed the penalty. So now that gives us a 2-goal advantage. And this would be a massive win for us. As as I said earlier, Marseille is a huge team in the division. So besides PSG and Lyon, they probably are the biggest reputation team. And Zurich almost gets a third. We've really been dominating this match. We have all the clear-cut chances. We have 2 clear cuts, 3 halves, and they have 1 shot on target. So, defensively, it looks like, we've had a great start to the season. And, I just want to see how we do, like, in the Europa League, because so far in the French League, we've done absolutely great. So, we just have to, if we continue this kind of form, we could really be competing. Oh, High Side gives... I just completely interrupted me, but High Side gets a consolation goal to end the match. So it's 2-1. We still get a 2-1 victory, and it's still a massive victory for us. It was a little bummer that they scored there at the end, but hey, we'll take the victory where we can get it, and it puts us right behind PSG, who won 4-0, I think, again, or maybe it was 5-1. Either way, their goal differential is now 9. It was 5 after the first match. So that's preposterous. We're not competing with them this season. They're going to win the league almost certainly. And our next game is against Monaco, which is obviously a huge game. But I don't want to come back just for the, I don't want to come back for the next match and not have gotten any farther in the season. So because this is probably going to be a big long series. So I think what we're going to come back for is we're going to go with whatever this Europa League game is in Lyon. These are going to be the 2 games we play in next episode. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the video and you want to know when the next installment's coming out, and obviously you would see it. And then also follow my Twitch. It's in the description, and we're doing a youth academy challenge with Atalanta there, and it's we just started today on stream, so it's been interesting so far, and we've had a strong start to that series just like we have here. So if you want to be a part of that one, just obviously just follow Twitch, and you'll know when I'm streaming, and you'll know when it's going on. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.